Okay, hello everyone and welcome for the first time and maybe the last time, we'll wait and see, to Madrid for the Spanish Grand Prix here in NEF1. We're here for round 5 of the season 12 championship, where we got 17 drivers on the grid, and for the first time we are going around the brand new Madrid street circuit here in New Era Esports. We got a new Ferrari driver as well out on track. O2 Hayes is transferred over from Haas with the departure of SR Halo from the league, unfortunately. But O2 Hayes event, former champion in Ferrari alongside reigning champion Tess. So we'll see how that team is able to rebound after a tough start, especially for Tess, yet to stand on the podium in a race this season. We have no Squidge 2017 here today, so that is going to open up a whole heap of opportunities for everyone to get a good result, get a race win, and we'll see where we're at in about 18 minutes time in qualifying here. And then after, I don't know how many laps we're doing actually, you'd guess around 25 laps probably around this circuit, but we'll wait and see. Sovan on board with Mackers at the moment, the driver who has been, apart from Squidge 2017, most impressive this season. Several podiums, P3 in the standings, very shortly behind Undercheck. It's just been phenomenal, Mackers, to be honest. He's starting to feel a little bit pressure for Noah 48 behind for P3 in the championship, but still has a little bit of a margin down there. So we'll see how well he can do here around Madrid. It's a brand new circuit for everyone. No one's raced this circuit in league format previously. A Squidge 2017 there says in chat, I could feel the smile when you said that. That was a massive smile on my face when I said that. We're gonna have a interesting race with no one running away with the lead by a couple of seconds per lap, so that's gonna be very entertaining indeed. Ray here out on the first lap of this session. He's coming up to turn, is that 3 and 4 maybe? I believe turn 2 is it's turn 5 and 6. I don't know the corner numbers for this particular circuit, but it's a very tricky circuit indeed. You want to brake relatively early going up the hill here. Cut the inside corner as much as you can. Rage is going a little bit deep there, but we're going to see people going significantly more deep throughout this session. As Raven goes into sector 2 and this flat out right-hander. You have to conserve your battery, but you still need to maintain a little bit of speed. Battery deployment around this area is particularly a nightmare, evidently. We'll wait and see what kind of effect that has on the race. This is the last of the really battery-dependent circuit, I believe, before we go into a couple of more normal ones over the next couple of weeks. Actually, forget what I said, Monster's coming up in a couple of weeks as well. So that will probably be worst of the lot, as we have some traffic in qualifying, and Ray would have had to take avoiding action of that. I believe that Darren Style, who maybe just didn't spot the Aston Martin coming through, and now he's ghosting, so you would imagine there was some sort of issue potentially. But Ray is going to be coming across the line here for the first lap around Madrid in NEF1. It's going to be a 1:31.341, a decent time overall. Reina quickly beats it though with a 1:31 flat. Where is Mackers? He is in the penultimate corner now, going for the final corner. 1:31 flat to beat, and he is not going to beat it. It's a 1:31.5 for Mackers. Slowest out of anyone. O2 Hasty has gone 31.3. As E69 has a problem going around the final corner, and it's a 1:48, but it was not valid. As Tess has a problem with the wall as well, and Matty's gone quickest out of anyone with 1:30.550. Definitely not a surprise there. Wait and see if he can rebound after 2 consecutive race finishes without points. It's the first time it's ever happened to him in NEF1 after 11 straight seasons of competition. Never has he finished 2 races outside the points. As here is Wildcat coming across the line for a 33.274, and Kit's come across for a 33.441. Spenclose 33 flat. as Tess about to come across the line. We saw contact with the wall previously on this lap. It's still going to be very, very good though. 1:30.517, and we know then there's margin for improvement. Mr. Wilco in that flat-out right-hander, and Djokovic is back for the first time in a couple of weeks here. Desperately needed by the Audi team as well, as they do have a chance to fight for the constructors, but they need both cars up and fight scoring points. Mercedes at the moment potentially vulnerable with Squidge not racing this week, but got to take full advantage of it. You can see here from battery deployment just how much this circuit drains on your battery. You get quite a little bit of battery back in that third sector, however you don't deploy too much though. As Mr. Wilco comes across the line, could have deployed more in the final sector, I don't know why he didn't, and it's a 32 flat, and that could have been just a little bit better, but he is within half a second of his teammate, who's been absolutely exceptional so far, so you'd have to deem that as definitely okay. NEF1 then, now, is he finally going to have his chance to claim that first race win of its NEF1 tenure? He's gone to pole position so far. Will he be able to claim a race win now with Squidge not present? It's going to be potentially his best chance of the season to do so, with both a Matty and a Tess showing a distinct lack of form throughout the season. Purple Sector 1, according to the game, from NEF1. I believe, however, that's just personal, though, because that purple sector system has never ever worked in these games, which is a bit of a shame. O2 Hasty seemingly enjoying his new Ferrari as well, currently up in 4th place. Maybe a bit of a difference from the Haas that he was previously driving. My old car when I started league racing, both the Ferrari and then the Haas subsequently. As a realistic performance league, I can't say I particularly enjoyed it. As flat out through these couple of corners for Noah, cutting the corners just a little bit. You need to do that around this circuit in order to gain a lap time. If you slow down to keep it completely within the white lines, you're not going to be finding any lap time at all. As Noah goes deep into the hairpin, you can still recover going deep into that corner. It's very, very easy to do. Noah, around this final corner then, is it going to be good enough for P1? It might just be. I just falls a bit short. 1:30.953 for NEF1. Has to improve by a couple of tenths of a second. Zondracek is out on circuit in Sector 2, and this just feels like one of the circuits that Zondracek could be really, really good at. Goes very, very far up the banking in this flat-out right-hander. It's not necessarily the line that you want to take. Djokovic, is he going to be feeling any rust? We'll wait and see. Still with that Aston Martin helmet, Djokovic, you're gonna have to sort that out. We'll give you a fix-it ticket for you in the stewards report, maybe. It's a nice helmet design, but it's very, very Aston Martin correlated. Zondracek here goes around the final couple of corners, going up to that quite sharp left-hander. Very easy to go deep, and Zondracek actually keeps it quite nice and tidy. Almost grates the wall on the inside. Penultimate corner, very, very tricky on the exit, and then this one, very, very tricky on the exit as well. There's a wall sticking straight out there, avoids that nicely, goes 31.9, goes on reject, not even close to being at the front. As Djokovic doesn't spin across the line, but gets a massive tank slapper on, and even though he got that, he's still half a second quicker than his teammate Djokovic, up at a P7 and a couple of attempts behind Ray. You would imagine had Djokovic been able to get a clean run through the last corner, he would have been ahead of Ray and Hasty. It wasn't quite to be. No, on his way back to the pit lane, you would imagine, and Rayna is out there in the Cadillac. So then, and there you saw the optimal line that Marina just took. You want to brake a little bit early for that uphill right-hander and then cut as much of it as possible. The curbs here, they're not very comfortable, but relatively flat. You can cut quite a lot of them without it having a massive impact on the car. A lot of battery usage from Reina in that first part of the circuit, in the second part of the circuit should be said. We're coming up to Sector 3 just now. These corners, they just blend together around the circuit so much. Don't really have any character to them, although it's a very, very distinct circuit, this. I can't imagine it going over well with the fans when they actually race it in real life, but I've been proven wrong before. There we go, then round the final couple corners. Final corner for Reina, needs to avoid the wall on the outside, just does so, and he goes third fastest as Reina, 1:30.737, 2/10 off provisional pole position. It's a very good lap, and at the moment O2 Hasty is improving a lot around that first sector. He seemingly is enjoying that Ferrari. Now we're going to see O2 Hasty, formerly SGF1 Gonzo, up on race winning pace again. It's been a while, been since season 5 if I'm not mistaken, so that'd be quite something. Matty Adam, who we have not spectated once yet this session, has set another fastest lap, 1:30.131. So I'll have to take a little bit of blame for that one, not showing either of his 2 good laps. Oh, and that's a tank slapper on for O2 Hasty. They're coming out of the right left-hander. As here we go then into the, is that a hairpin? It's basically a 90-degree corner, it feels like a hairpin. Nice and tidy on the braking through the penultimate corner, a little bit of a tank slapper, and then through the final one, cut as much as possible, avoid the wall on the outside, get as close to it as you can, 1:30.8, lost a bit of time in the second and third sector, but P5 for O2 Hasty is a definite improvement. What is Ondrejek doing at the moment? He's improved by half a second going through sector 2, and there's yellow flags ahead. We'll have to be very, very mindful. Presumably you'd just speed up a little bit to start a flying lap instead of slowing down to let the Audi go then. And across the line then, clean exit to the lap, 1:31.4, ahead of his teammate by about a tenth of a second, but it's a definite pace advantage for Djokovic around this particular circuit. As we just go on board with Matty Adam really quick as he goes into the pit lane. That's a Ferrari of Tess, who's had an issue in the second sector. The Ferrari currently sitting in P2. And the 1 week when Squidge is gone, then Matty and Tess seemingly back up in form and P1 and P2, as it would be any other season, bar this one so far, evidently. Ray into the pit lane, sitting in P3 at the moment. He's having a good half. He's having a good first half of the season. Doesn't like the regulations really. Doesn't like the cars, or doesn't like the car that he's been given at all. But he's doing a good job with it. 1 podium so far this season. 2 podiums in total, I believe, for Aston Martin. It's been a decent start for them these first 4 races, should be said. Round 5 of the championship is this. On board with Noah and around that long right-hander, and just spot the difference in battery usage that Noah's deploying from what Reina was deploying previously. It's a massive difference, massive offset. The question is Reina, does he have the best way of running the circuit, or does Noah? Qualifying very, very battery dependent. Noah improving by 2/10 of a second, which would put him right up alongside Reina. Could be interesting. Into the final sector then. Nice and flowing so far. Breaking into this left-hander then. Gets that spot on. Beautiful. Almost kissing the inside curb. And then a very, very good exit coming out of the penultimate one as well. Final corner. How close to the wall does he dare get? Relatively close. And he goes 4th fastest. Just out of Reina. Just behind his teammate. But it's a good qualifying session for Aston Martin to begin with. P3 and P4 here. However, ideally, we'd just like to improve those extra couple of hundredths of a second to get ahead of Tess. Djokovic out for his second run. We're on board with E69 at the moment, currently sitting on 1:31.699. He's got a comfortable margin to Wildcat down below him. Driver struggling at the moment. Wildcat, Darren, Iwat, Kit and Spenclose are in their own category in this qualifying session right now. The top 10 though separated by 1.5 seconds. It's showing that this is a very, very new circuit. as Sharpie's commenting there. Come on, Uncle Matty, first place. Uncle Matty's not the only one to be pulling the old jokes with Matty Adam, then. He's a frequent recipient of them from especially us, the rest of the admin team, but a couple of others in the league in particular as well. As we're on board with Uncle Matty Adam 98 and Matty Esports, as we have called him frequently when he starts dominating every once and again. We did in Formula 2. So, Matty Adam then in P1 at the moment by 0.4 of a second. Very, very good session for him so far with 2:20 to go. He's going to start seeing cars out on circuit very, very soon. A lot of them are already out there. Djokovic's invalidated his lap. He's going to have one more go at this. Macker so far disappointing in qualifying, 131.587. He'll be disappointed with that. The driver who's consistently been third, fourth, fifth this season, now sitting outside of a point scoring position on a circuit that I know he's relatively handy at as well, looking at time trial times previously during the day, so he should be able to improve a little bit. So watch that Racing Bulls in P11 at the moment. Macker's 97 on his last stint. As everyone is relatively spread out throughout the lap, we got a big cluster of cars. That's 6 cars in the span of a couple of corners in Sector 2. That could be a little bit of a mess. They'll have to spread out over the next minute before they start their lap, but they'll be in a heap of trouble running into each other. 7 points throughout the lap. Here we go then. Matty Adam rounds the first couple of corners. Nicely executed indeed. Battery, stick to the inside for this next spot and deploy as much battery as you can to try to avoid the clipping that happens naturally on this straight. You see the clipping through the speedometer there, 20-30 kilometers down. So you go into the braking zone. Beautiful second chicane. Cut as much of this corner as you can and onto what is probably a flat right-hander followed by an almost flat left-hander. I believe that might have even been flat through both of them for Matty Adam. Beautiful lap so far in that Red Bull. And as he comes across the second sector split, we expect to see him maybe just improving by a 10th or two. See if he can dip into the 129s here. We'll wait and see. A33 BT should be strong around this final lap as well, so we'll go on board with him shortly. Matty Adam, 1/10 of a second up on his best. And it's a good third sector as well. 3-4 corners to go. 3 corners to go. 2 corners to go now for Matty Adam. Checkered flag drops. Noah is going to be starting P4 at best. Darren P15 at best. Next to cross line is going to be Matty Adam, who does improve, and by half a second in the third sector alone sees him into the 129s. Next to come across the line is going to be 1980s Wildcat, who needs a big improvement to do anything. Fails to do so, improves by 0.003 of a second. Djokovic is going to come across the line, improves by a couple of attempts, P8 for him. Aston Martin of Ray spins across the line, yellow flags coming out of the final corner as Mackers goes P2, and that's what I was talking about. Now, crucial couple of last sectors for Testen to improve past him. Where is ABT in all of this? And Reina finishes this session in P6. Hasey, disappointment in the end. P8 only. The Audis, P9 and P10 at best. Where is A33BT going to finish this lap? Tess is going to come across the line just ahead of time. Mr. Wilco up at P7, but beautiful lap from Mackers then to see him up on that second spot. Here comes Tess across the line. He just edges him out by a 1/10.5. It is Tess in P2. Where is ABT in all of this? He improves up to P3. Slots Mackers down another spot by 17 thousandths of a second. It's ABT in third. Mackers in fourth. Ray in fifth. Noah in sixth. Followed by Morena, Mr. Wilco, O2 Hasey, and Ondracek. E69 qualifies in, I think it was 12th place there in the end. But Matty Adam takes pole position here in Madrid. It was a good lap indeed, and unchallenged in the end. 0.6 of a second. It's the biggest pole margin, I believe, this season. Very, very close to last week. Beautiful lap from Matty Adam, who takes pole in Madrid. Tess in P2 then. Disappointment for Audi. Disappointment for O2 Hasey, I believe, as well. Then could have been up a couple of positions just by improving another 10th or two. It is very, very tight between, let's say, a 33 BT all the way down to Mr. Wilco, separated by 0.2 of a second. But this race is going to be very, very interesting indeed. We are going to go to a quick break before we start this Grand Prix, so you don't want to miss out on that one. Stay tuned for a couple of minutes before we are back for what is bound to be the most chaotic race of the season for sure. We will see you very, very soon. Stay tuned. As here we go then, we're gonna get this race underway finally. It's been a little bit of a longer break than was intended to, but we should be all set to go. Matty Adam on pole position by 0.6 of a second then, and with that type of margin, you really must consider, is anyone going to be able to beat him? However, there is a massive chance of a safety car around a circuit like this. There's a massive chance of a strategy offset. No one really knows how this track is going to race. We're about to find out first-hand experience here. Matty versus Tess on the front row, followed by A33, BT and Mackers. Ray in P5, medium tires, followed by Noah on the hard. So the Aston Martin splitting their strategy. Emreina in 7th. He'll be slightly disappointed with that, perhaps. Looked very, very strong through qualifying, did Emreina in the Cadillac. Followed by Mr. Wilco. O2 Hasey, apparently first top 10 qualifying performance this season. I didn't know that. But a very, very good lap from him. Apparently he had an even better one coming up that got invalidated in the end. He could have been starting a lot further up. Ondrejek and Djokovic, they'll both be disappointed with the way the qualifying turned out. They've got some work to do. Ondrejek's best opportunity of the season, this could have been to gain points on Squidge, at the moment championship rivals P1 and P2. But Ondrejek might just struggle from P10 here. We'll see how overtaken is. E69 followed by Spenclose, the sole Mercedes of the day. 1980s Wildcat, sole McLaren of the day, followed by Darren Style. I was in the second Red Bull, starting on a hard tires, gonna try to go long here. And Kit W73. So then, as we're going to get all the tire information up here, the top 5 starting on the medium tires there on the left hand side of your screen. It's going to be a very, very interesting race. This, we'll see how it pans out. I have no clue how this track actually races. That will be something we're going to learn throughout these next couple of laps then. Is Matty Adam, who usually does well on these new circuits as well. Quite adaptable. Tess in P2. Is he going to be able to get into work close during the Grand Prix? Is BT, with another good qualifying performance, finally going to get through lap 1? I completely jinxed him last time out. Now, though, I think he's going to be going in to the first corner with a bit more attitude to try to maintain that position at all costs. We'll wait and see. We are set to go for the first ever Grand Prix around Madrid. We'll wait and see how this one goes. Is it going to be a classic? Is it going to be a flop? Well, we have no clue as of yet. We will have a clue in the next couple of 25 to 30 minutes. Here we go then, for the Madrid Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go then. A little bit of a delay. Matty Adam gets away very, very well. Tess alongside him, might even be able to dive it into the first corner, and he does. Close between Matty Adam and Tess, who makes contact there at the apex of turn 2. A BT safely through in P3. Very, very bad start for O2 Hazy. Down 8 positions. Must have been involved in some type of contact, and he's still stuck in the first sector. He desperately needs a safety car to get back into this race, and he gets a virtual one already. Very, very little bit of racing before that VSC got called. As Kit then picks up a 10-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. That could be looked at after the race, providing he still has the penalty applied to him. As Spenclose gets the same. I don't know what would incline them to get those penalties. Or incline, I don't know what would trigger those penalties in general. Virtual safety car is still active here. When are they going to start speeding up? There we go, race control, straight mode and boost restored, and we are back to green flag racing. A33 BT having a couple of problems with Ray on the restarts, I believe, but we're up and running again. Tess and Matty Adam, P1 and P2, and now is the question. What shouldn't have happened for Matty Adam did happen on the start. Got overtaken by the Ferrari, and now is the question, will an overtake be possible around this circuit, which is basically like a bit of a wider Monaco? Reminds me of Valencia as well, which it's Spain. not completely out of the question. But overtaking could prove difficult around here. It's E69 comes into the pit lane at the end of lap 1. So does Mr. Wilco. No too hasty. If he's got good pace, he's going to be able to catch up to the back of these guys relatively quickly. So Matty Adam then is catching up to the back of Tess. The gap was 1 second, is now down to 0.5 of a second. But where do you make that move is the question. And how is battling around this track going to be? It's one of the circuits where I could almost see these cars or these guys coming together, and in a quite a big fashion. We don't have too many incidents between the top drivers in the league, but this circuit, which I feel could potentially promote it. As Amrena is right on the back of Mackers, who's had a bit of a weak start, down a position to Ray, but not too bad. Still in P5, Mackers. Still in the double digits in terms of points. Amrena though looking to change that, go from 8 to 10, but he's not going to be doing it in this braking zone. Has to stay behind for the time being, but it's going to be a circuit like this where overtaking is just that tricky. O2 Hasty past Wildcat already then, and now has set his sights on Iowa, and he's on that durable hard tire as well, I believe, with a full front wing. What's the front wing damage on that Ferrari? Let's have a look. Nah, it's a full front wing, should be all good. Matty Adam, fast lap of the race so far. And now it's time to start putting the pressure on Tess and the Ferrari ahead of him. They're leaving A53 BT behind at the moment by about a second and a half per lap. Here comes Matty Adam then. How are you going to be able to find a way by? Is the question. Closes in on the braking. Not close enough. Maybe though, coming out of this corner, if you're bold and if you can get alongside down the inside of this corner, if you're on the outside, you'll have no choice but to back out. But Matty is going to be learning more and more each and every lap. He's following Tess around here, spot weaknesses and spot places where you could potentially deploy just that little bit more in order to get by. Tess as well won't have too much experience in defending around this particular circuit. That definitely plays a hand in the way this race is going to unfold. But Matty just looking more stable, more calm, more collected throughout these couple of corners. So to get a beautiful angle there, more of that please. Ooh, as Tess gets a massive tank slapper on, and that is going to invite Matty Adam down the inside, and Matty reclaims the lead on the Madrid Grand Prix then. Tess with a little bit of mistake, and that could be costly. Now we're going to see if Tess can maintain a gap to Matty Adam and keep pressure on him, or if Matty has now recovered the start and is going to disappear down the road. He's already gained 0.4 of a second on Tess, who's going to be pushing to not let that turn into a full second. But Matty Adam seemingly the faster of the two in this opening stint. How is O2 Hasty getting along? He's now right on the back of Darren Style, who's lost out to Iwatts at some point. So, and he is running right behind Darren as well. Darren 2 seconds behind Iwatts now, and O2 need to make quick work of the cars ahead of him, and he makes quick work of Darren Style there on the battery. Nice and calm under braking into the chicane with those sausage curbs. Crucial to get a good run through there, and he does so. O2 Hayes is recovering well so far. We're going to see how it progresses. This battle for the podium between the rest though, as we have a full safety car here already after just a couple of laps, and I don't really know why. We have 1980s Wildcat in the pit lane with the front nose cone glitch again, but that car at least thankfully has a front wing attached to... I don't really know what it's attached to. It's not attached to anything. So it's an evolution of the front nose cone glitch. If you've been in NEF1 for a while, or if you've been watching our races, you'll have seen this front nose cone glitch before, where a car's entire front nose cone is just missing. However, it's evolved to now actually show the front wing at least, which is somehow even worse. So 1980s Wildcat then is running with a front wing but without a front nose cone. I can imagine this type of aerodynamic instability that would cause. or know how it would work either. So that's going to look a little bit weird throughout the next stint at least, or unless he gets that replaced maybe again, I don't know. Obviously he's not going to be suffering any damage from it, it's just a visual glitch that us in spectator mode get. But then a lot of people into the pit lane then. A53, B Team, Reina, Undercheck and Spenclose all coming in. This is exactly what O2 Hazy and the Hards needed. Darren Style is out of this race. Where is he out of this race is the question. Is he out in the pit lane or what's going on? I can't find Darren Style anywhere on the track map. Very, very weird. Darren's out then of the Madrid Grand Prix. We're down to 16 runners and riders here. Matty Adams staying out, so did Tess, and so did Ray, so did Mackers. No on the Hards then is on a good stretch at the moment. Did Djokovic stay out as well? Yes, he did. First car to a box is A53 beating P9, and he's got a good situation. Now the problem for A53 BT is that Matty and Tess won't have too much tire wear. I don't know what the wear is like around this particular circuit, but you would imagine it's quite heavy. But Matty and Tess, as we saw from previously, absolutely have the pace to break away massively from both Ray and Mackers with a BT who was up there in third previously. Question is, does ABT now get stuck behind drivers like O2, Hazy, iWatts, Djokovic, and potentially lose out as a result of it? And could Ray perhaps capitalize on that as well, if he's going to be able to follow Matty and Tess around? We'll wait and see. So then the train is beginning to form up once again. Spanklos just now connecting to it. We're waiting for Mr. Wilco, Wildcat, E69 and Kit. Kit who looked to be getting a massive amount of understeer through that particular corner. I don't know, was that front wing issue potentially, or was it just he went a little bit deep into the braking zone perhaps? Might have just been a little bit deep into the braking zone, and he gets a massive snap of oversteer coming out of the penultimate corner as well. It's a tricky circuit. This is very, very tricky circuit. As I'm sat here in my commentary booth at the moment, just a little bit jealous. That's an unpopular opinion. I'm sure that I don't get to drive these cars. I actually quite fancy the way they handle, the way they race after driving them a little bit. I know a lot of these drivers are not happy with the way these regulations have turned out at all. Circuits like this might just show that more than any other. We're going to Monza in a couple of weeks' time as well. That could be another one of those circuits. I think next up, if I'm not mistaken, is Hungary. It could be very, very interesting. So then we're still awaiting the arrival of E69 and Kit. Hopefully the safety car doesn't stay out for too much longer. And it's going to stay out for one more lap, and I think that's going to be it. So that should be the timeline that E69 is going to be able to catch up pretty quickly. I think if you're Kit, you need to start applying a little bit of battery and pushing, but he pushes... Just asking the car to do a little bit too much at the moment. It goes off with no grip when you brake and turn aggressively like that. Need to just find that little bit of consistency and confidence in what the car is able to do. So when it's the first safety car in Madrid, that's not a surprise at all. Then we're following Matty Adam, who's in the lead of this race from Tess, and then we have Ray W25 in P3. Following that, we have Max in P4, who's ran a okay start to the Grand Prix. After that comes Noah 48 on the set of hard tyres. That could be a very, very interesting strategy. Should be able to carry those for a long way here. Then we have the first Audi of Djokovic, the second one down in P11, but I believe he's been into the pit lane. Djokovic has not. As Kitten suffering a problem trying to catch up, and he is without a front wing. Not a fan of this circuit at all. Seemingly we might be looking at a double Williams retirement. We'll wait and see, but Kit really struggling here at the early stages of this race. Matty Adam just waiting for that safety car in message. Kit's got to be careful now on this restart, unless he goes into the pit lane once again straight on the restart to get that replaced. As there we go, the safety car in, but that's very, very early. The safety car lets the pack go, so it's nice. Matty's going to be able to control the pace, and we'll get the telemetry up. Be able to see what is going on here. As there we go, the safety car has come into the pit lane. Now it's Matty's choice as to when he restarts this race. And how late will he leave it? The entire field are going around at snail's pace at the moment. But there Matty goes in a bit of an awkward spot. He could have probably made a little bit of a better job with that restart though. But it's a good restart nevertheless. This race is resumed. Matty Adam leads the Grand Prix from Tess, Ray, Mackers and Noah Van to begin proceedings. And Mackers immediately, 3-second time penalty, multiple track limit warnings. A53 BT and O2 Hazy are battling along for position. ABT is round. Ah, fuck's sake, it's happened again. BT, who was on a very, very good strategy, comes together, you would imagine, with O2 Hazy somehow. He's down in 15th place. Does he have wing damage? Will he be able to carry on? He's missing a front wing end plate, and that should be the Alpine into the pit lane. Matty Adam now has broken away 0.8 of a second from Tess. They've broken away 1.5 seconds from Ray, who's not able to keep pace with them. Djokovic is on the back of Noah. This has been a battle over the last couple of seasons, Djokovic and Noah. Meanwhile, they've been teammates in Aston Martin as well. Iwaz is running a good strategy at the moment, up in 7th place. The man who had no confidence around his circuit right now, running along relatively okay here, but now he's being put under pressure by the Ferrari of O2 Hazy, and it could turn into a nice little week for the Scuderia if O2 keeps going along at this pace. As Djokovic then a little bit of a lock-up, sees maybe Iwatts on his outside. That's going to be a very, very difficult move for Iwatts to get done. He's going to be looking towards the final corner as well, just show his intentions there, but no, Djokovic is just going to be able to survive that little onslaught. And we move on to lap 9 out of 29. Matty's pulled out of DRS, or pulled out of overtake range should be said, as O2 Hazy and Ondrejek go side by side with O2 Hazy, just maintaining 8th place. Ondrejek here is trying to get a run on the Ferrari. He's going to launch one, surely not run the outside into the braking zone. No way to do that one on this one, I'm afraid. Ondrejek stays in 9th. Oh, was that Djokovic into the wall on the tricky braking zone? Yes, he was, and he is without front wing end plate. So it's a warning to other drivers. We'll have an understeering Audi in a very, very fast piece of track, and that's going to be a problem for drivers like Iwatts, who's going to be pushing to get ahead. Iwatts is able to go by now, and is O2 Hazy going to try something? definitely, but how's he going to find his way past? Round the outside of Djokovic into the next couple of corners. Don't think Djokovic's going to give Ondřejek as much grief. Actually, he is. Goes off circuit then, though, without that front wing, and Djokovic is down a multitude of positions now as a result of that. E69 going into the back of him. Did that cause any further front wing damage? Perhaps. Saw bits of carbon fiber flying off, and Djokovic really struggling now to bring it back to the pits after that driver error that saw his half his front wing gone. Iwatts up at 6th place. O2 Hasty has made the most out of this restart. He is battling for P6 at the moment. Is he going to launch one down the inside? Yes, he is. That's a send and a half, and he almost didn't control that. Iwatts is very, very close to being able to get back ahead. And it's very much bumping his racing right now between Iwatts and O2 Hasty into the braking zone. Iwatts round the outside. Surely is not going to work. O2 Hasty just survives that one once again. Ondřejek running shortly behind him. Meanwhile, the battle at the front has died out a little bit. Matty 1.5 seconds ahead of the competition right now. Ray 2.6 seconds behind the battle for the last podium position. Ondřejek is unable to get by this little chunk of cars. Iwatts and O2 Hasty. Iwatts now just losing out a little bit. Is Ondřejek going to be able to force his way by here? Round the outside into the sweeping right-hander. That's a neat little move using the battery there from Ondřejek. Gets ahead of the Red Bull. Now Spenclose 64 in the Mercedes is next in line. Iwatts dropping a couple of positions now. E69 as well. Djokovic currently sitting in 14th place, but he's on a new set of hard tires. Should just be able to lap the circuit now, and he should be, with a bit of tyre management, never mind, might be able to get this to the end of the race. Matty Adam comes into the pit lane at the end of lap 10. And is it a two-stop strategy for Matty Adam then? You would imagine so. What goes on that car? Instead of hard tyres, but I don't think those... we'll wait and see. There's going to be tyre preservation if he wants to make that work. So to Hasty and Ondřejek switches positions now. And Ondřejek might have just gone a little bit of life into those medium tires, because he's been pulling moves these last couple of laps now. 5.3 seconds the gap up to Noel. See how he does with that. The question is, will O2 Hasty just be able to slow this train down a little bit? Matty's quite far behind it, to be fair, so no team games will be able to be played here. Matty's actually been able to come out in quite a bit of clear room here. He's got 6 seconds up to Mr. Wilco ahead of him. So he's in a good position, and Reina is up a position into 9th place then. E69 settles for P10. Spenclose still in the gearbox of Iwatts as well, unable to get by as of yet, but Iwatts feeling like he's a bit all over the place at the moment. Spenclose gonna try something on the inside. There's not enough braking zones really to make any sort of diving moves. There's this one, but it's just too tight to pull an overtake into here really. Tightens up even more on the exit. Yellow flags in sector 3. That's E69 who's gone off and losing positions as a result. Matty Adam then is caught behind him, and he'll be very glad that that didn't trigger a safety car or even a virtual safety car, because that would have been full capitalization from Test then. So Matty makes it by the Alpine, who's racing with half a front wing. So E69, was it too late for him to get into the pit lane? I don't think so. Matty now with 5.5 up the car ahead of him, which is a Reina who pulls a massive overtake off on Spenclose. Hello, I don't know, it could have been an overtake, could have been a defense. I think it was a defense actually. But that was a lovely bit of racing from Reina Spenclose there. Beautiful stuff. Actually, no, Spenclose was on the back of Iwatts. That was an overtake from Reina. That is beautiful. I'd love to see a full onboard of that if Reina's able to sort us out after the race. That was absolutely gorgeous from the angle that we got. And now then making quick work of the Red Bull ahead of him. And Reina is running a very, very good race in the Cadillac at the moment. nice work from him. So to Hazy Van continues his charge up. He's currently sitting in P5. Where is his teammate and how long is he going to make those medium tires last? Quite a while for the time being. I think Tess is more focusing on the battle for P2, P3 at the moment than he is focusing on Matty Adam, who is running a different race and might actually be running a different strategy here as well. I'd imagine the undercut is relatively powerful. We have a couple of cars into the pit lane. O2 Hazy is one of them. Mackers is one of them who might be looking at an undercut. E69 comes in, but that's with a broken front wing, mind you, so it's not really representative. For the pit lane exit here, sees you avoid that first complex of corners, so it's not a very slow pit lane, this actually. Ideal for a two-stop strategy, perhaps. We'll see. Mack is on that set of hard tires that now should see him to the end of the Grand Prix. Just need to get those warmed up to the proper temperatures. I think Matt has been given away from his teammate there as well. Now, chasing down Spenclose, and he is driving at rapid pace at the moment, is Matty Adams. Several seconds lap faster than Tess, who's out front. And a two-stop strategy might just be viable here if you can get by as well. But Matty is pulling those overtakes off at the moment. You can with that extra pace. As here comes Spenclose on Amrena, not quite close enough, but closing in quite significantly under braking as Tess has gone into the pit lane then, and where is he going to come out in comparison to Matty Adam? As Kit's retired from this session, we have a full safety car, and I don't think Tess is, actually this might be helping him out a little bit. Hard tires on. The question is now, who comes into the pit lane as a result of this? Kid is out of this session then. The double Williams, D and F. Noah's got a penalty, but he's out front. Don't think he's made his pit stop yet. No, he hasn't. But he would have liked this safety car to come a couple of laps later. It's a bit too early to slot instead of medium tires now. Then again, I don't know, did anyone test made these mediums last 13-14 laps? If you're careful on them, you might be able to get them to run the remaining 15 laps, but it's a long stint. It's a long stint on mediums. And it's very tough luck for Tess then. However, this will see him right on the back of the following car. He's not going to lose out too much by this actually, depending on who pits in front of him. If you're Matty Adam now, you've got a decision to make. I think Matty was quite happy with the way this race was panning out to begin with, as here comes Noah. Oh, that's a long pit lane, Jesus Christ. I thought it was, that's a very long pit lane. I thought it had already gone past the pit box and put a new set of tyres on. There we go then, medium tyres for Noah 48. Jesus, that's a long run down to the pit boxes. Got proper confused once that happened there. Where's Mackers turned out in this race? P7 at the moment, behind the Tess on a similar strategy if I'm not mistaken. And how is everything looking for Amrena and Spenclose? They probably should have come in then. They've lost their chance now. But I think for both Amrena and Spenclose, they would have had to come in and take this opportunity. I don't think they're going to have too many more as drivers now just settling into this race a little bit more. That could be a mistake from them. We'll wait and see. A lot of time penalties handed out at the moment. Noah, Mackers and Iwatts all with 3 second time penalties, along with Djokovic and E69 as well. Then we have 1980s Wildcat with 6 seconds worth, so it's quite a heavy amount of penalties being dished out in this race, and that could help people like Ray, Tess, Ondracek especially as well. Could give us a surprise points finish as well potentially. We'll wait and see. No one in this race really would surprise being in the points as well. Darren and Kit desperately needed to do well in this race. Neither of them accomplished to do so. I think this was one of the races where they maybe just could have sat behind a little bit, just try to keep up with the rest of the pack, be without penalties, and maybe a point or two would have come their way. 1980s Wildcat without those 6 second time penalties would be in a nice position. However, that might just see him at the back of the pack once this race concludes. We're halfway through the Madrid Grand Prix at the moment. It's still very, very open. Matty Adam dominating this race in terms of pace, there's no doubt about that. But as for the rest, Emreina, Spenclose, Noah, Ray, wait and see. I think Emreina and Spenclose both made a mistake staying out then. But we'll have to wait and see. We don't know too much about strategy around the circuit quite yet. And even with strategy, when you have a race this frequently interrupted by safety cars and virtual safety cars, strategy really goes out of the window. As we have another car without a front nose cone, that's Emreina, who's apparently dropped his. I mean, you can't make the Cadillac look any worse, to be fair. So, I mean, taking that awful front nose gradient away has actually made that car look much better. A little bit of a movie quote: the only car to have his nose taken off, and it'd be an improvement. If you know a little bit what that's in reference to, then please let me know down below. It's not an exact quote, but it's an inspired quote. Squidge 2017 is in chat saying, Spenclose, why did you not pit? And that is a very good question. I'm asking the same to Rain at the moment. I think the timing of the safety car definitely played into it, just what time it came out. But then Emreina is going to be controlling the pace of this restart. We've had one restart so far. He now has to maintain a constant racing speed. The safety car is going to be going into the pit lane at the beginning of the final corner then. As there Emreina goes. I don't know if it was just slowed down a little bit there by the safety car potentially not being fully in yet. But Emreina van has restarted this race. Spenclose in hot pursuit behind. But what will Matty Adam be able to do on fresh hard tires? How quickly will he be able to dispatch of the front two? Will anyone be able to follow him through? Test on brand new hard tires as well will be trying to make this work. We'll wait and see how that goes. Still showing yellow flags, Sector 2 for whatever reason. Sector 2 is completely clear, I can assure everyone of that. As Matty Adam is right on the back of Spenclose, who goes into the wall with bad tires. And that is a probably mandated front wing change for Spenclose as well, who now is going to be dropping like a stone. Those old hard tires going to pay dividends on the restart, and he's being given stick at the moment from his teammate. I can show you of that, and that's another car without a front nose cone. There's one more. That's a nice visual glitch. Thank you very much, Codemasters, for making spectator mode as useless as it is. As every other car right now not having a front nose cone, we're just gonna go on board. Because apparently that just removes the problem. I don't know. Absolutely hopeless, Codemasters. Absolutely hopeless. But then O2 Hazy in P7 at the moment is trying to make his way through. Matty Adam has now been able to make his way up to P2 past Spenclose then. And now he's giving chase to Emreina out front. Emreina, who you would imagine is praying for some type of a safety car, a virtual safety car. Ideally to maybe just be competitive at the end. Unless he's somehow going to try to get these tires across the line. Matty Adam then is all over the back of him, going up the hill and into tricky right-handed. It saw Spenclose without a front wing a lap ago. And as that car is going side by side with each other, I was very close to the back of Ray W25. Max has been a little bit invisible so far at this Grand Prix. He's running along in P6 for the time being. Behind the test with 3-second time penalty, mind you. That's going to be opposite O2 Hazy should the race end as it does. I don't think we've had too many incidents between drivers at the moment, but I usually miss these things anyways. So wait and see how the post-race investigation goes, because I can promise you there'll be one. As Matty Adam now chasing down the Cadillac without the front nose cone. As yellow flags in Sector 3, that is Wildcat who's had a problem, and this track is turning into a handful for a lot of the drivers. Matty Adam now right on the back of the Cadillac into the final corner, and is now the time where he makes the move. Emreina becomes unsettled on the exit, and Noah might be able to force his way by as well. A little bit of a wheel bump between Noah and Emreina there, and I think Ray wanted to make his way by instead. He's been overtaken by Tess, and I'm not sure that's the level of teamwork that Aston Martin needs this race, especially as they absolutely are racing Tess for position. Noah with 3-second time penalty as well should have probably just let his teammate go there. They're on similar strategies, except Ray's might actually work a little bit better given his tire age and what compound he's on. But wait and see how it all pans out. Test then now on the back of Noah, going to try to make his way by as quickly as possible. Noah going to try to make his way by that Cadillac, who's going along quite nicely. Test just showing his front wing down the inside of Noah there into the braking zone, trying to unsettle the Aston Martin just that little bit. But it wasn't to be. Djokovic on the back of O2 Hazy now, and Djokovic seemingly finding his groove again after that little excursion previously during the race. Has just found a little bit of pace, but he is struggling in these cars so far this season. I think only 3 points on Djokovic's account. So O2 Hazy goes into the wall. That could have been bad, but it's a front wing end plate, I believe, gone for O2 Hazy, who's also missing an entire front nose cone, which makes it impossible to see. Thank you very much, Codemasters. Djokovic then into the final corner, P8 now, and chasing down Iwat and Mackers, and it's a battle of the drivers with time penalties, as Noah now then has been able to clear the Cadillac of Emreina. Now we're going to see how good Tess is at attacking ahead of him. Emreina might just be trying to challenge Noah down the inside into the chicane. Can't quite get there. Tess significantly better for the first part of the chicane, loses a lot of ground on the exit though, is not able to carry that momentum up the hill into the next right-hander, and Emreina's running along very nicely here actually. 9 laps to go, 15 lap old. We've already seen Cadillac with 2 punctures this season. I believe in Silverstone, both of them. Not ideal to be on that old tire with this much left to go. That's a nice little corner cut from Ray there. It tries to get a little bit of a run on Reina. That would have been leaving the track and getting an advantage if I'd ever seen it. But you got to use those track limit strikes to your advantage. As here we go then, Ray trying to get past Reina then. Going into turn one, he's able to power through, goes very, very deep though, and he's going to lose one, maybe two positions as a result of it. Comes together with Mackers there a little bit clumsily. I don't know who's to blame really for that one, as Tez goes by into P2, and it's actually delivering a lot more overtaking this circuit than I thought it would. Problem for Ravo now behind Mackers, and Reina's holding on, but he's losing time. And he is doing Noah a ton of favors at the moment, allowing him to maybe just run away a little bit with this P3. Ray ideally needs to get by Max and Reina immediately to chase after. Ooh, as that's Ray into another wall then. And is that potentially a front wing broken as well? He's lost a little bit of time, but I think he's recovering that quite nicely. It doesn't look understeery. I think that's a whole front wing. We've got a problem for... is that Ondracek? Yes, it is. The driver who desperately needed to have a good race here in Madrid is completely unable to do so. 3 pit stops so far, only edged out by ABT and E69. And Ondracek is running 15 from Plum Loft, having an awful time at it so far. Meanwhile, I think Matty Adams having quite a good time at it. 3.3 seconds out in front, and close battles for the win is not really the memo for this season. Matty Adams just needs to cruise this home now. It's been a good strategy for him as well. How old are those tires though? 11 laps old. Rain has 17 laps on. They got 7 more laps to go. You would imagine that's puncture territory for Moreno, who's now 3.5 seconds behind Noah, which is basically taken. It's basically null and voided Noah's 3-second time penalty. Yeah, Ray, if he wants that podium, definitely needs to get a move on, but it's points to the team regardless. Mackers 97 and Reina will lose a position to him even if they finish in front of him as things stand. But here comes Djokovic round the outside of a beautiful move that I did not see coming as well. It's a bit like Franco Colapinto last night in Spa that just came out of absolutely nowhere to sneak by and get that position. Nice little overtake from Djokovic, who gets another 3-second time penalty as a result of it. That's only going to see him down further positions. And those track limit warnings, they're so important. They're so important not to pick up. Which is going to show a heap in this race because Mr. Wilco and Ray a beautiful position at the moment. Iwatts is running a good race as well. He's in P9, could turn into P8 here because Ray's coming into the pit lane with only a couple of laps to go. Is that potentially a new front wing needed? You'd imagine so. Yeah, it's a new front wing for Ray. That'll see him right out of the points. So unfortunate stuff for Ray. I don't really know how he lost that front wing, but very, very unfortunate for him indeed. Now we've got to get a look at those time penalties. 6 seconds for Mackers, 6 seconds for Djokovic. Just can't see Reina's tires lasting all throughout. At least this is giving Matty a good indicator of the tire performance of the hard tires. And Reina's made those last for 18 laps now, with a couple more to go. So Matty's basically being given information six laps into the future. Matty must have made some sort of mistake somewhere as well, because Tess is caught up by 1.5 seconds over this last lap. And now we have another problem with a certain E69 F1 going off the circuit. Yellow flags. And that's him round again, and front wing gone, that's him out of the race. Wheel gone, and we have a late safety car here, and that is going to change the outcome of this race for sure. E69 then out of the race, out of the penultimate corner. Very, very clumsy retirement that from E69. And that is out of race on lap 24 out of 29. And now is the question, if you're Mr. Wilco, I'd imagine you're quite happy with this current position, depending on how many laps will be remaining. If you're a Morena now, surely you need to take this opportunity to box. You're only going to be losing 2-3 positions. For sure, a couple of others behind might be inclined to box as a result. Oh, it's a tricky one. Tess, I believe he has a bit of a tire advantage on Matty Adam. But could Tess pit without losing too much? No, I'd lose a position or two, Tess, if it was to come into the pit lane. We'll wait and see. Drivers have a better idea of these things than I do. As Matty Adam, does he come into the pit lane? Yes, he does. He gambles. Tess then stays out, and that's a gamble and a half. That if I'm Natty, I'm not taking it. Noah comes in as well, crucially enough for Matty Adam. Macker stays out, and this is what's going to be so crucial. Who's staying out? Even with penalties, they're not going to yield them. Reina staying out. What is he doing? Djokovic is coming in. Mr. Wilco is staying out, and where is Matty going to be coming out? Has he gifted this race win perhaps to Tess? Because he'll have an awful lot of overtaking to do with only a couple of laps, and I reckon that is a mistake. He's racing him right on the exit. Is he going to be able to get that position? It's crucial for him that he does. He doesn't. Matty down into P4, and I think he might have just gifted this race win to Tess. He's got a lot of overtaking to do, not very many laps to do it. He needs this race to restart basically next lap, and it might not do it. The field is very, very spread out over the course of the circuit at the moment. What has Matty done there? What has Matty done? That's two cars overtaken, definitely possible. And Reina, his tires are going to be finished. Matty should be flying past him. But it's a question as well of how much ground can Tess break away whilst Matty's caught up with Reina and Makus, who are now going to be clawing for everything. Matty's better be thankful that he didn't get up behind Mr. Wilco as well, because he's very much racing for position now. So then Wildcat is coming in. I'm a bit surprised by that, to be fair, because he's running in a points position. 11 lap old hard tires. I don't know if I'd be coming in his position. He's only going to lose a position or two, but he's got those time penalties to account for. That might be a chance. Yeah, that's a chance of the points gone for Wildcat. It's probably gone regardless, to be fair, with 9 seconds worth of time penalties. So this is the situation then. Matty's on brand new soft tires. Reina's on 21 lap old hard tires. They've done almost the entire race. Marcus on 13 laps old. Tess is on 12 laps old. The problem for Matty Adam is now he could be so much quicker that he's going to run into the back of one of these guys and lose a front wing. If I'm Matty, I'd rely on my sole pace because he's got the pace over absolutely everyone in this Grand Prix, including Tess. and not give yourself more overtaking through. I don't understand that strategy call from Matty Adam. If this pays off, then fair enough. If it doesn't, this will be the best opportunity he's going to have this season of a race win, completely thrown away by his own regards, and that's a call I wouldn't expect a driver so experienced as Matty Adam to make. Was he trying to cover off Tess maybe boxing? You would imagine. But then again, Tess is losing more positions and just hasn't been as strong as Matty Adam over the course of this race. Matty needs that safety car to come in this lap. If it stays out another lap, it is disastrous for Red Bull. 14 drivers remaining in this Grand Prix. Iwat's in P9 at the moment. Surprised Hazy hasn't gone for anything there, try to go aggressive at the end. Mr. Wilco might just be swallowed up by drivers on the soft tires. He'll wait and see. Also wait and see how it goes for Marina, Makers and Tess, to be fair. As here we go, and the safety car in message is displayed, and it's up to Tess to control this restart. We're going to have 27, 28, 29, 3 laps worth of racing to decide the win here. And Makers itching to get going, but it's a brilliant restart from Tess then, who gets a massive jump on Makers. And here we go then, Matty. Is he going to send one down the inside of Amrena into the first corner? He'll have the braking performance to do so. It doesn't do so, and every single corner we do now is a chance for Tess to get away. Matty makes quick work of Amrena, who has nothing to give against those soft tires. And now we'll wait and see how quickly Matty can dispatch of Makers in front of him. He desperately needs that racing bull to be sporting Red Bull colours at the moment. He does not do so. Tess needs to break away now, and he needs to do so quickly, but he can't break away from Max at the moment, who is very, very fast and on a similar set of tires. Here goes Matty Adam by Makers as well, and now Tess might just be in a heap of trouble here. Matty's been able to get past him once this race already. That was on equal tires. The situation right now, it is not equal. Mr. Wilco is holding on to P5 at the moment, could turn into a podium position at the end of this race if he's able to carry this throughout. O2 Hasty, if he's able to keep this in line as well, with those time penalties ahead of him, is on for a good points finish. Matty Adam versus Tess then is the battle we are looking at. We know what the situation is, soft tires versus hard tires, and Matty's going to have 2 full laps to line this move up at a circuit where grip is relatively difficult to find. Mr. Wilco has now been overtaken by Djokovic as we start the penultimate lap of this race. Matty Adam is going to be able to make this work into the first corner, lap 28, closes in a little bit under the braking face, and in this chicane he's so much better down the inside into turn 3, and Tess is going to fight this one all the way through. I think he'll have to consider himself defeated, maybe under braking though. Surely doesn't have the performance to stay with the Red Bull as the two make contact. Tess does not yield. Matty Adam maybe in the advantageous position, I do not know, but he's letting Tess go there to give it another shot. Does he have a full front wing though, Matty Adam, to get this done? That incident, I'm sure, knowing that both will be under investigation regardless, that Matty let him go back there. But I think it's a smart move for Matty Adam to do to avoid any sort of post-race investigation. But then, with a lap and a half to go, crucial now for Matty Adam to be able to find that run once again. Tess is going to be aggressive in defense now. He might just have gotten an edge on Matty, ever so slight. Into sector 3 for the penultimate time, and this is a sector where those tire differences don't matter as much. On the exit here though, get a good run coming into the penultimate corner, can close up significantly for the first corner coming up. Yellow flags, it is Ray who's had a problem, and he is not going to be scoring points in this race, you would imagine, barring any penalties. Here comes Matty Adam looking for a move at some way into the first chicane. Can't find it. Can't quite find the grip going into coming out of the second corner as well. And now is the question, how much does Tess have left in his tank? Matty, did he make a mistake going onto the soft tyres? Maybe. He has a couple of more sectors to find that move. Up the hill. Tess places his car slap bang in the middle of the circuit. Locks up though. Matty is pushing the Ferrari around the track at the moment. But now you must say it is advantage to Tess as the two follow each other ever so closely at the moment. Matty is pushing that car like hell to get by, but Tess is doing everything he needs to place the Ferrari in as good a position as possible. And where could Matty potentially make a move for the remainder of this lap? It's only one more sector to go. No real hard braking zone. He needs to force the Ferrari into a mistake. He might have just gotten it there, but Tess manages to keep it on circuit. And now the opportunities might have just slipped away from him. Matty, who had the race win within his hands, chose to pit when the safety car came out. And now we can establish it was the wrong choice. They came together at one point. Matty let the position go. He's going to regret that because it will be investigated afterwards. Tess wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Matty threw away the race win under the safety car. He comes home to finish in second. Noah finishes third in the end. Ondrejek somehow this Grand Prix finishes fourth after being in 14th place a couple of laps ago and slap out of it. He finishes in fourth. That's a recovery of the century for Ondrejek. Mackers in P5 in the end, followed by Wilco in 6th. Spenklos finishes in 7th place, followed by O2 Hasey, Emreina in 9th, and Iwat in 10th. That's a stint from Emreina, 25 laps on a set of hard tyres. Iwat scoring a point there in 10th. Djokovic outside of points along with 1980s Wildcat. A BT on wet tyres for whatever freaking reason. Fastest lap point goes to Matty Adam there, you would imagine, on soft tyres in the end. Oh, but that's the controversy that we needed this season. Tess, after not being on the podium all season long to begin with, his weakest start to an NEF1 season yet, wins the Spanish Grand Prix. We're just waiting for the podium to begin there. As we can see, a Ferrari on the top step of the podium for the first time this season, along with Matty and Noah. Noah with a bit of an underwhelming race there, or a bit of an invisible race really from him, but picks up the podium nevertheless, and is a good result for Aston Martin. That crucial result for both Tess and Matty, though, who climb a bit further up in the standings. And it's going to be an intriguing battle, this. Ondrejek gains a couple of points on Squidge, who's absent this week, but he would have needed that podium to really make a dent in it. I'm going to wait and see if we can actually get the result screen up, because that's been messing with us for the last couple of weeks. And we're not going to get on this occasion either. Thank you very much, game. But anyways, that is a beautiful, beautiful victory for Tess then, who secures the first one of the season. Matty Adam with controversy in the end, coming together with Tess on the penultimate lap, letting Tess go as a consequence of it. And that has decided the Madrid Grand Prix. I'm sure that'll be investigated regardless. But Tess is the victor of the Spanish Grand Prix. Matty in P2, Noah in P3, and Ondrejek with a beautiful recovery after the safety car finishes fourth on the road as well. Beautiful drive from him. That was the Spanish Grand Prix that went significantly better than I thought it would. It could have been way, way worse than it was, but it's a very, very difficult and different circuit nevertheless. Next time out, it is yet another sprint race in Hungary, the Hungaroring, for one of the more normal circuits on this calendar, you would have to say. So you don't want to miss out on that one. After that comes Monza, Netherlands and Brazil, and we're closing into the halfway mark of the season already. But we got a couple of weeks to go until then. So thank you very much for watching this rendition of Nura F1 Esports. Congratulations to Tess for the first win of the season. And we will see you next week out at the Hungaroring when NEF1 returns. Have a good one, everyone. Stay safe and peace out.